Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Combe TV. It's been a while, hasn't it? Apologies about that. I've been incredibly busy with so many different things. Ironically, I'm probably even busier this week trying to get ready for these virtual awards, but it's going to be good. I'm absolutely terrified about this awards because there's, I don't know, what are we talking? 50 guests during the course of the night that we're going to be bringing on and off. As explained to those that are going to be there, we've got a limit of 10 people, myself included, so 9 guests that can be in the sort of back room or on screen at any one time. So I'm going to be managing it as it goes. So it's going to be fun. We've got all sorts of people coming on and off, winning the awards. Above all else, we're going to have some fun. It's going to be a great show, and I'm really looking forward to it. I was about to say I was due to have it be Davis and Dawes, and I was going to say, whack, whack, oops. But the good news is he is here. Hello, mate.
How are we doing?
Have you?
Yeah, well, I'm using up the old gin.
Oh, do you know what? Actually, I've just done that, but I've got the new bottle just there beside me, so I'm all right.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to bring the mini fridge home for Saturday.
Hey, that's a good idea. I got one in my office. I'll have to bring that one up.
Yeah.
Whack, whack, oops. Sorry, I've got a new toy, haven't I?
Wow. What can I say? What can you say to that? Little things, please, little minds.
Absolutely. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well and staying safe, says Chris Mason. We are indeed, mate. Looking forward to getting Chris on the show as well on the weekend. The medical team, Dr. Sue Smith and Chris Mason are coming on. And it's great to hear that we got some fabulous news from Chris Mason that I'm going to wait until the show where he's achieved something amazing that I know even Dr. Sue Smith told me that she was chuffed when her and I were chatting. So that's brilliant.
Yeah, no, I'm pleased the sex change paperwork's finally come through for him because, the NHS has been waiting. So we've all grouped together. And it won't be long and he'll become Christina. So we're all rooting for you, Chris.
Well, there you go, mate. I think he's going to retract that dilly that he said as well then. Although he did abuse you as well. He said it's a long walk to the west wing of Davis Mansion. That's why you were late, isn't it?
No, I'm using I've left my computer somewhere and I'm using Amelia's blooming MacBook and I can't. It doesn't like Safari. It's not. So that's actually a good point. Actually, if anyone's using a Mac, for some reason, this StreamYard doesn't like Safari.
Oh, and yeah, it's when you do it on. I thought that when the advice was when you do it on an Apple device that you have to use Safari, but it doesn't work. Did you say?
Well, yeah, Amelia's didn't like it, so I don't know. It threw it up to say so. It might be work. It said no, it doesn't support this. You need to go to Chrome. So.
Okay, which is downloadable, of course, on there, which is the godsend. So anybody, you've all got your emails, and I know it's War and Peace, but in essence, the simple version of it is click the link. That's it. So frankly, that's about it. I make the joke that Ken Davis did it. In fact, we're going to do a live example of it. Chris Ignall, he's coming on in a little bit. It'll be good to catch up with him. There he goes. Evening. Everyone from Chris and Wendy at Team Blast Motorsport. You can't say that now, Chris. You've retired. So surely the team, they put out to pasture for now, mate. But I don't know. But he's going to come on and we're going to have a bit of a chat with him, catch up with just for a little while, catch up with him. But what it is, he doesn't even have the link yet. I am going to email him the link shortly. And he's going to then click it. He's going to come in and I will show how it works that you come into my green room or my backstage area. And then as and when appropriate, I can then bring you onto the screen. And that's what we're going to have is that as we're announcing the people, it's going to happen. For those of you, of course, aren't coming on this year, try harder next year. There's point one.
No, because someone rang me earlier actually and was saying that, they were going to watch on Saturday. And but they were saying it's such a shame that, we're not under the blooming wings of Concord, isn't it? And so hopefully next year we can actually have a proper knees up, but this is saving a few quid.
Oops. It is. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, I'm too young to know what that was from. Is it from some sort of TV program or something back in the 80s or something?
Yeah, I can understand that you wouldn't know, mate. Yeah, I can understand your.
Being young, much younger than you.
Yeah, yeah.
Crikey.
If I did it properly, I'd have the snooker ball noise next as well. I think that was what it's from. It was a Radio 2 weekend quiz show.
Yeah, it was Radio 1, wasn't it? Yeah, quack quack. Oops, everyone.
That's
What
the
was
one.
his
Was it
name?
Radio 1? Was it?
It was Radio 1. Yeah, back in the day. Yeah, yeah. Someone's going to come on.
Okay.
Someone needs to tell us. I'm sure there's someone who's going to tell us. It was Mike. Was it Mike Reed?
Hey. Shocking, isn't it? Hey, shocking. Listen,
I think it's awful that you also said that even Ken Davis could
he said
work
that.
it. That's
He
really
said
awful.
that.
You know, I know that's not very nice to old people. I think that's a bit.
He said that. He said it. To be fair, mate, he said it. And I've had a couple of people that Paul Barnes, Kieran Atwood, they're all coming on, and they'd said, "Oh no, I'm not coming on because I don't know how to make it work. I don't think I've got the stuff." And I went, "No. It's as simple as this.
Yeah.
If you haven't got a webcam, your best is a PC or a laptop." And a webcam, but if you don't have that, it can be done via tablet and phone.
Absolutely.
And you know, and sent the link and showed him. I mean, you think of when you were doing some of those walks, it was on the phone that you went down into the pit lane.
Definitely.
On the live stream.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, yeah, we've had people who use their phones, but it is that simple. And like I said, you can get on any device. Honestly, yeah, we want everyone to be involved, and don't want any. That's the whole point. And I think there's been a lot of good comments, a lot of odd comments as well about. Me and you hosting this, and obviously, get your gin ready. But no, but that's the whole point, isn't it? It's just the whole thing. We're all still locked in, so let's make it a bit fun. And I said, saving a lot of money on the old wallet as well. I mean, crikey, O'Reilly.
I'm determined to make sure that I don't. That means I'm going to drink that much gin. No, I'm only joking. No, I mean it does. I mean, let's look for small races, and we were trying to say that the other thing for people is that for the drivers is that they've got more family can watch them get their awards.
Exactly.
Sponsors, potential sponsors, past sponsors. The great thing for me is that we can now have more of the spectators and Orange Army that are able to watch, because of course normally we have a finite number of places available and the expense of it, whereas it's like happy days, let's have family Combe together Saturday night. It's going to be, I don't know, circa 3 hours worth of applauding the people that have achieved things, looking back on a great year, having a bit of a giggle, and that's the reality of it.
It's also the people that, like I said, the people who have achieved something for a difficult year. So everyone it was a condensed season, it was a difficult season, and we still got some fantastic racing. And I think these people that joined us on the grid, joined us at the circuit, went the extra mile. And that's what it's about. Like I said, and I've seen the link being shared by lots and lots of people. Marshall's drivers, and I've even seen
thanks, guys.
a few other Facebook pages sharing it and things like that. So it's really good. I think we are. The more people I speak to, everyone knows Combe and knows. I mean, we did the thing on Saturday with Motorsport Days, but a lot of interaction then, and I think people know what we're about. So it'll be fun. But it's also great to put across what we are about to potential drivers, potential anyone, marshals, anyone who wants to get involved. And we've had lots of interest, like I said, people asking about the season next year, and I think there's going to be some even more hot hatch drivers as well. A lot of people asking about their ARDS courses. I think some people have sat on budget this year. I think because we had nothing else to do, so I think people have finally convinced their partners. That they give a bit of money. So I'm really excited for next year, and I think it's Saturday. Let's show everybody what Combe's about and the fun we can have.
Yeah, absolutely. Which, of course, is terrifying hearing all of that as well, frankly. But we're just going to roll with it. If anything doesn't quite work, because there's a whole lot of technical stuff that I'm relying on during the night, as Tom knows, because he's had to jump on and do the testing, 1, 2, and listen to that about 1 million times. So, if anything doesn't quite work, we're going to have a giggle. We're going to have some fun. It's a party. Ken wants to dance with all the ladies. He's already admitted that. It's going to be good fun no matter what, and thanks for the fact that the comments are coming in. Sean Wynn, grass cutter, good to see you back on, mate. We got to get him up to a 4-wheel event as well as the 2-wheel stuff. Good to see. Chris Pearson, the photographer extraordinaire. Good evening. Good evening, Chris. Good evening, Mike Cotton. I'm glad to see you here, mate.
Hey, Mike.
Emma Strawford says, evening, chaps. And on that note, of course, we've got Karen Marshalsea. Happy birthday to Karen Marshalsea, elder sister to Emma. It's her birthday. Wife, Graham Marshalsea is her husband, and they've been off doing wonderful things today. Happy birthday to Karen. Looks like it was a wonderful day. And my daughter's birthday's tomorrow, but she's only 9, so bless her.
Oh, and anyone who knows John Granger from Merlin, it's his birthday tomorrow as well, and he's 65 tomorrow, so he'll kill me for saying that. But,
no, that's amazing. Fair play. Happy birthday, mate.
Yeah, and John's been involved with Merlin for 25 years, I think. So so you can all wish him a happy birthday if you he's not there tomorrow. But anyone who speaks to him or hears from him, please say happy birthday to him.
Chris Mason says, on a serious note, if anyone is struggling through this lockdown and needs someone to talk to, let us know. Lovely comment, Chris, and agreed. It doesn't feel quite as somber, I don't think, but then it's just such mixed messages constantly coming through. I mean, we've got another massive numbers today, sadly, seem to be going up, but of course the actual cases going down, but the legacy fatality sadly is high. And it is the plan. Combe TV, I've been asked, can we keep it going during the winter? Yes. Simple as that. We're going to keep it going. We're going to get some various guests on board, some that I've already sort of semi-lined up ready. We're going to have a giggle. Just bear with me. Apologies. I'm just really, really busy with the awards and a couple of things with my own business to try and keep afloat. And then we're going to go. We're going to have some fun because it's great escape, and we love having your company. Talking of which, by the way, Stuart Tinker-Taylor, Camp Softcore, from his bed, he has COVID.
Oh, no.
He has it, mate. Listen, get well soon, my friend. And I know that the whole family has now got to isolate, but he's tested positive for it. So get well soon. Sadly, I'm delighted to see that it's from my bed, as in, you're not in the hospital, mate. So keep yourself sane and get well soon, mate. Gerald Howe, good evening, all from Wootton Under Edge. Is that the same as saying not yet? That's not far off, is it?
Well, I say that, aren't they all related in Wootton Under Edge as well?
We used to have good fun with the people coming over from there. Evening, lads. Jamie Peters Ennis. Evening, mate. I knew someone would say this. Mason says, coming into your backstage area. Hey, Dawesy. I was delighted that you resisted it, Davis.
Well, you didn't say back door, in fairness. You said backstage at least. And I was going to say, and don't worry, because I'll be lurking around in the back door area. But then that sounds even creepier.
It does. It
does.
Yeah,
the chances are that I might be there. So I will be there in the back room.
Emma Mason said, "Get rid of that sound effect. The quack quack oops is gone. Don't panic." Although Winner was laughing about it, but she reckons that it'll be the whoopee cushion next.
Yeah.
Gerald Howe says, yes, it was that. But
there you go. I think it was.
From memory, there's a reason why we don't talk about David Lee Travis now, sadly. I think. I can't remember whether he was cleared or not, but hey-ho, there we go. And Chris Mason got it as well.
Yeah, DLT, yeah. Wasn't he not the crusty donut, the crispy something.
He's been called a few things now, I think. But Emma Strawford says that she watches Combe on her elderly Android phone. Not the watching part. It's really those that are coming on, because, of course, we're getting a lot more that are coming, onto the show to receive their awards. And equally, Jamie said his stream grid walks were done on his phone. Mike Cotton says, is it just me, but you're a bit intermittent? It's... apologies if that is the case. There's an outside chance, because I'm testing what I'm going to be doing on Saturday night, which I'm through a very crazy mixer. In fact, let me just give you an idea of how mad this is, that I've got to manage to do various things on the weekend. I've actually got a whole mixer that I'm using, which I think it's not got quite the zero latency that I'm used to. Look it up. But
just make
I think it basically, it does the sort of like, it does the I forgot the word that I'm looking for now, gating it basically. So when there's silence, it waits until it hears a noise, and it's not perfect, but it enables me to do a number of other things that I need to do on the weekend. So I hope it's okay, Mike. It's just going to be this show that I'll be doing that way.
Rabbled on about it, and he just meant something completely different, like you're just a bit intermittent. I mean, that could have been
with my thinking.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Hey, Mark.
Mark, hi guys, hello mate. No, Emma Straw said Combe TV or Struckley. Well, you can't watch Struckley, Emma, so we're all right. Emma Mason also says hi, lovelies.
Hey, you should you could get the
I'll get it, mate. I'll probably be sued to high heaven for that one, but yeah, I'll give it a go. You know me, I'm not bothered. Rob Drew says, evening, winner, definitely try it one day. Any offers, I'm there. So there you go. He's attempted to do the 4 wheels as well as the 2. Phil Martin says, good evening to all Castle Combe friends. Exactly, that's what this is about. Evening, gent, says Castle Combe Racing Club themselves. Of course, it is, a big thing for Castle Combe Racing Club to do these awards, which is why I'm honoured to actually give it a go and do something to do it. Kieran Simmons, evening all. See you on track next year as the engine is almost ready. Anderson Power for 2021. Fantastic, Kieran. I'm chuffed to hear that, mate. Emma Brown, evening both. Now, of course, Emma Brown is Brian Soul's other half. Many would say better half, but we're not going to get into that. No, we love Bri. And I want to know whether he's actually come off the ceiling yet after running the car that won the Walter Hayes Trophy this year, the Formula 4 car, piloted by sort of like an adopted son, really, Ollie White. Oliver White won it in the Solly Motorsport car, and the pictures of him literally collapsing after all these years of trying to do it. Well done, guys. That was absolutely wonderful to see. I felt welled up when I saw the photo, I must be honest. Sean Wynn, great. Keep it going for sure. We'll try, mate. And also, Winner says, get well soon to Camp Softcore. Chris Mason said, I think it was darts on the radio. I think it was snooker or pool, because I remember the noise of the balls hitting each other, and you chose yellow and pink and black and for all the different points.
Jim Davison. What was that on a Saturday night? That was
on the TV though, wasn't it?
What was that called? That's another. It's like pop trivia, and that's something else we were looking at doing, weren't we? Which we haven't discussed because we've been busy.
Yes,
doing the big Castle Combe quiz, wasn't it?
Yeah. We got to make that a Christmas special, haven't we?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so I think there's a good few quiz apps, and again, other people out there, if you probably know better than I do. He's getting there with his chin. He's getting finished. I have got to finish. Yeah, I'm going to say I've got to finish some of mine. I have to bring the kids home. And but yeah, we were looking at doing a Castle Combe Big Fat Quiz of the Year, weren't we? So that'd be that's something else to think about doing. So that could be another one.
Remembered, because I had forgotten that. So we'll try and make that like a Christmas special. So
but we were just thinking, what I mean, apart from a bit of I forget our historian Pete Stater writes some questions for the history of Combe, but then I was thinking, what other things do we do? And I mean, 80s trivia. I mean, what can you say? That's sort of written itself, isn't it already?
Dance music. Hey.
Impression.
Well, I don't know. Right, just to let you know so that you can see the magic happening, I'm going to send the email now to Ignal. So Chris Ignal, the email has now been sent that has the link. And so he will at some point, hopefully, magically appear in my backstage area. And I'll tell you when he has, and I'll show you, spin the camera around. Just quickly catching up with the message again. Evening all. Hope everyone's well, says Elliot Harris. Evening, mate. Ben Hayward says, evening. Spiller. Evening, gents from Spiller Towers. Evening, mate. TSW dude, evening guys. I remember TSW from watching the live stream as well of the race days. Thank you for that. Mary Ward, bless you. That's Nathan Ward's mum, says happy birthday to Lauren for tomorrow. Thank you very much.
More birthdays.
She was so cute, right? She did a list for her birthday. She's 8, about to turn 9, and instead of being upset that obviously lockdown and COVID, the pandemic in general, means that she can't have the party that she'd be expecting, and we throw a party every other year, and of course that Murphy's Law, that was due to be this year. Instead of being upset, she's done a list and she says, right, I'm going to have a Pop-Tart for breakfast. Other junk food is available. She says, I'm going to open my presents after school.
Oh.
I'm going to bake cookies with mummy when I get home. I don't know how I got out of that one, but fair play. And we're going to do make your own pizzas and sit down and watch a film as a family in the evening.
Oh, bless
how cute's that?
Yeah, I say my daughter was 8 in April, and during the lockdown, and it was so hard. It's really difficult trying to explain that to kids, and she had a whole party planned and everything else, and it is difficult. It's tricky. Chris, do you want to put me into the green room? Then I can speak to Chris, and then we can see if that works. I'm just thinking.
No need, because I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually spin this camera around, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. Okay. So there you go. This is what you are all seeing. Now, what we've got here is obviously you and I in agreement. And Ignal, already, just from clicking that link, he has now appeared. And he's never done this before. As you know, he's never been on the show. He's now in the green room. I believe Chris can hear us. If he can put his thumbs up, but he should. Actually, no, he can't. Until we brought him in and take him back out.
Like you said, you could pop me back in there, and I can say hello, Chris.
I don't think that he can, because I know when we went on the motorsport days is that I couldn't see you. So I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to add him, but I'm going to remove him. Right, Chris Hignall, can you hear us, sir? Thumbs up, because we can't hear you yet because you're in the green room. I don't know. I probably did it too quick, but I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to bring him in. Evening, Chris.
There he is.
It's as easy as that, mate, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
You can't pause like that for dramatic effect, because you were in like a rat up a drain pipe.
It's the internet in Yate. They've only just got it. They've only just got the internet recently in Yate. You know
that. Yes.
So now you know how it works, Mr. Hignall, for Saturday. But what you've also done is been the live guinea pig to show. I won't say why Tom felt that you were a good guinea pig.
Oh, really?
I'm stirring. I'm only joking.
Nothing to do with age.
No, nothing.
Any of those things, Chris. All right. So
nothing.
don't worry.
Nothing to do with that at all. Nothing to do with that. Oh, Your Honour. Just quickly, I want to say Sharon Ballard. Hi, Sharon, and commiserations as well, by the way, to yourself with regards to that beautiful dog that you see in that picture there. Sadly, is no longer with us. She says, you sound good. Miss you all. Hope Stuart Tinker-Taylor is okay. Agreed. Oh, there you go. There's the answer, by the way. Rob Drew's answer. Big Break. That was the radio show.
No, that was a TV programme.
Was it?
Yes. Big Break.
Well,
with,
the Quack Quack Oops, though, is from the radio show. Dave Lee Travis. Hey, we could have prepped for this, couldn't we? But no.
Why making it like we know what we're doing?
Exactly. Right, Chris, you're live on air, mate. You're live on air. Feel free to join in.
My wife is crawling on the floor.
Whoa.
Welcome to Yate, ladies and gentlemen.
Because the kitchen door is in the shot.
What?
She shouldn't be hiding. Goodness me, she's a legend in her own right as well.
Exactly what I said.
So, Mr. Hignall, sir, how the devil are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. All good.
How is racing retirement treating you? You sent me a photo. I see that you've got a sort of sun car / track car at the minute.
Yes. Yeah, we've bought a little MX-5 just for days out in the Cotswolds, going down to the caravan, and hopefully a track day or two.
No, it seems popular, doesn't it? I know Matt Parr and Chris go out in an MX-5 they've got on not just the track days. Are they going to tempt you into the sprints as well?
I'm going to say the Bristol Sprint.
Probably not. It's just a stopgap until something slightly more powerful comes along.
But the reason you've got that, as you were saying, is that you've sold the race car. I
have indeed. Young Alfie Gendel has bought it, or more to the point, his dad has bought it.
Yeah.
Alfie has been the champion this year in his little mini NASCARs, and he's 14. Needs to move on to something else, and so they're going to be using our former little 106, which is great. So it's local. We'll still be able to keep an eye on it, keep an eye on what he's doing. So I'm really pleased it's gone to a good home to people we know. Really, really pleased.
And an exciting home, let's be honest. I mean, that's a young man that I know I've chatted with, his dad, but through his dad to Alfie as well, is that he's a young man that I've sort of got half an eye on, to be honest, for the future. I think he's going to be a talented racer.
Yes, I think very much so. I mean, he's dominated what he's been doing. The trouble is, having stood next to him recently, I'm seriously not sure how he actually fits in those NASCARs anymore. So I think it's time he moves up to a real car. So I think they're going to...
Is he running that next year, Chris, in a championship, or is the plan to get
I think his problem is his age. He will be 15 in January and struggling to find something in which to race, so he may have to wait till he's 16.
Because I think there's a Fiesta. I know there's a Fiesta, isn't the series, and there's another one, isn't there?
The junior saloons as well.
Yeah,
there is, but they all use the same Saxo VTR. So although this is effectively the same car, I think it's restricted to the Saxo VTR, unfortunately.
Okay.
They just want to get some track time at various places, so that when he can race, he's really, really up for it. So, and I honestly, having watched loads of his videos, I think he's going to be very, very good. He's just one of these lads who's got it about him.
Yeah,
and he's in where you live now, Chris, where I grew up in Yate as well. It really is a proper local boy that we know is like what's that, 15, 20 minutes down the road from the circuit. And it's, fingers crossed we'll see him actually at Combe as well as supporting our local drivers as well.
Hopefully, yeah. It's good to see a teenager doing something else.
Yes, it will, Tom. I mean, it'd be nice if at some stage if somebody might just look the other way so that you can get half an hour on a well-known track in Wiltshire. But there we are.
That's not going to happen.
It would happen once and then no one's racing ever again there, basically. Yeah, that's the problem. But Chris, withdrawal symptoms now, or is that not going to really kick in until next year?
I think the problem will be probably next year, but I mean, there are opportunities. Chaz has got cars for rent. Nathan potentially has cars for rent. Stuart's Saxo may not be used for every round, so there's a chance that we might dip in and just do the odd race now and again. And I think that was always my plan for the next few years, is just drop in and out as funds and time allow.
Fair play. I mean, obviously we're going to have you on the awards on the weekend with, I guess it's not really a secret because it is what it is, but you came second overall and you won your class. Did the fact that you achieved that sort of make the retirement now decision for you because you achieved that, or had you already decided it?
I think that we'd thought about it for a few years and
threatened it, I would say, every year.
Yes, and this year, to be fair, was only going to be 4 races as funds allowed, and then everything changed. So we thought we'd go for it once Wendy and I were happy that everything was safe up at the circuit, which it was. It was fantastic. And of course, as the season went on, we were there or thereabouts. So that sort of forced my hand into doing the last 4 races. However, I can't really, no matter how much money I was to shovel at it, I can't really do any better than a class win and second overall in the championship, especially if lots of the guys are back next year.
No, that's why I asked, because I could almost see it being. It was like, well, how can you better that? I know there officially is one, but like you say, is that likely? No disrespect, but as you say, is that it would be a big ask.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? There's so much, like Chris has said. There's so much. There is a lot of driving talent there, and also the costs on the cars. I mean, that's a car that you've built and loved. There's cars coming through on that grid now that are hundreds of thousands of pounds, hundreds of and more. So I think it's a tricky one, isn't it? And I think that's what's done with the hot hatch, isn't it? Is brought out some really great fresh new talent, and the ability with the cars as well. And I know there's going to be some changes with the regs and things I think coming, but
Indeed.
it is. Unfortunately, like you say with everything, money does assist things, doesn't it? Unfortunately,
it does a little bit. I mean, you all know my backstory, and I'm sure we're going to come on another stage and discuss this, but nobody can believe. I simply cannot believe what we've achieved in 7 years. I can't believe it.
And that is the key thing. I do want to quickly go on to it because, of course, come Saturday, Chris, we're not going to have enough time to touch on that, as you can imagine, because it's sort of like short, sharp interviews for everybody. But, I've threatened you with this pretty much all year that I was going to get you on to have a chat. Now, correct me if I've never fully asked it, but since we're in the moment, I'm going to ask you, you are blind in one eye or damaged sight?
Completely blind in my left eye.
I thought it was. Down to fireworks. Tell us what happened, Chris.
A huge 5.5-inch mortar at a wedding firework display, instead of going 1,000 feet upwards, basically came at me. Bounced off my chest into my face, set me on fire, and nearly killed me on the spot. So to be racing a few years later and to be where we are after 7 years in several cars, I've done 3 cars at Combe. I really can't believe it. So I look at everything from that point of view 12 years ago.
And that's the key point, Chris. And you know that I'm a huge admirer of that thing, is that you've touched on the personal side there that's kind of gone, well, when you could have died and yet you've managed to get yourself there actually racing. But it's like, even just take the basics, racing with one eye. I can't get my head round that, because you must have had to have relearned perceptions and depth and things like that.
There aren't many sports you can do with one eye, is there, if you think about it?
No.
Archery.
It was very difficult in the early stages. I couldn't even put a glass under the tap. I literally couldn't figure out where the water was. Wendy for 2 years wouldn't let me boil a kettle and pour hot water into a mug, because I
She's laughing in the background there, Chris.
She is. I don't know what she is. Yeah. And so yes, and the funny thing is, when I got to the point where I felt I could go racing, contacted the MSA, as it was at the time, and they then decided to make me wait 5 years. Oh, here she is.
We see the hand. Hi, Wendy. You shouldn't be laughing at him, though.
No, so the MSA made me wait 5 years and made me do additional tests to gain my race license. So otherwise, I might have done it a year or two before I did. So waiting 5 years, I can tell you, was an absolute killer.
So are there other people, Chris, you know now that have come through who, visually have visual problems, or
in the first couple of years, I maintained contact with the MSA, and their medical delegate told me every year how many people with either badly visually impaired or blind were racing, and it's never gone above 5 in a season.
Right. Wow.
In fact, I've forgotten his name now. Oh, I do apologise. Our friend from Torquay, Plymouth way, whose surname is Lee, who's raced at Combe in a red Clio. Ring any bells, Chris? It's not Jonathan, is it? I've forgotten his name, but he raced at Combe when I had the Fiat in a red Clio. Well, he was also blind in his right eye. So that year, we had 5 people in the UK who were blind, and 2 of them were racing in Combe saloons at the same time.
Wow. Fair play. I mean, it does. It beggars belief, to be honest with you, to know that you can do it. And I think it's important. In my commentary, I don't make a particularly big thing about it, because I feel it's disrespectful to you to actually make a big thing. But in my heart, I'm there going, the admiration is massive, and I feel like it should be known. But it's like, well, no, because you can't. You're not going there trying to be I guess we say a disabled racing driver, as in it's a disability, isn't it, to have the one eye lost?
Yes,
You're just going, I want to go racing.
That was it. I don't have a blue badge or anything. I consider myself disabled, but and we talk about the story quite often because it helps other people. But it's not something that I go on and on and on about. Although I'm sure there are family who would suggest otherwise. It was just it was. This is something I'd always wanted to do, and various things came together. Time, some funds, all came together, and Stuart was beginning to go racing, and I thought, well, it's now or never. And I was only going to do that 1 year in the Fiat, just the 1 year, just to say I've been a racing driver. And here we are, 7 years later, second overall in the championship, winner of my class. It's time to go.
No, I can't knock that. I can understand that. I mean, I'm sure we'll see you at like some of the action days as well as the occasional race days. I'm sure we'll see you up there watching as well, even on the race days as well, mate.
As a motorsport fan through and through, I miss going to Combe, sitting at Quarry, watching all the guys I race against. You know, some of these guys have been in there for so long. You know, I've been a fan of theirs for years. Tony Dolly, people like that. Will, all sorts of people. So we intend to go back doing that. I want to go and watch the touring cars a little bit more. We love watching superbikes, so hopefully go and watch some superbikes. And the plan at some stage when we can is go and see a couple more away Formula Ones, maybe Singapore and Australia, hopefully. So that's the long-term plan.
I like it. By the way, Amy Beth says, don't let him talk, he won't stop.
That's my daughter, if you didn't realise.
She has waved as well, to be fair. So bless her. And just picking up on a couple of the comments that in context with this is that Sean Wynn says, well done, Chris is fantastic. Just shows if you want it, you can do it. Awesome. Ben Hayward, massive respect, Chris Hignall, super job. Jed Doyle, one of the mighty Orange Army. Chris Hignall equals legend. God. Although, ironically, I know Chris would turn around and say anyone in Orange Army is a legend.
Absolutely.
I know that.
Utterly.
And Mike Cotton himself says respect. So, you know, it's lovely to see the comments coming in. That's why, you know, it's nice. Although Chris Pearson also says, is Tom feeling left out because his name's not Chris?
Yeah. No, two. I think if you had three Chris's, the world would stop moving or something, wouldn't it? It's one of those, isn't it?
It could be
as well. I mean, crikey.
Sharon Ballard says, well done, Chris Hignall, as well. I'm disgusted is that Sean Wynn says he can't stay on because I'll be back. I'm a stupid Bristol City fan.
Oh, hey.
Well, so am I, but I'm here.
Yeah.
Oh, you're upset, Chris, because he's a gashead.
Gashead, mate. Gashead.
Okay. They're barely a football team, though, are they? Really? They're like sort of.
Even we just know it's a comedy show at the moment. Let's be honest. Definitely. But here we go. Sharon also says you should try the violet gin with elderflower tonic. It's lovely. I don't like gin, but love this one. I've had the violet gin. I do love that one, and I've had elderflower tonic. I can't remember whether I've had them together, but you know me, I'm always up for trying things. TSW dude, nice to be watching again. I knew it was you, mate. I knew that you'd been watching. Play nicely, Davis. I can't remember what you did now, mate.
Bad mouth in Yates.
Yeah. Sharon Ballard is laughing at Wendy, laughing at you. Oh, there we go. Even Beardy said, evening, James. Great to see Chris Hignall too.
Good old Rich.
Rich, make sure you chase up, by the way. I know we got one reply to your email, but we've also got the young Marshall hasn't replied. Well, certainly I haven't seen it, so I have no idea.
No.
So please do chase that up.
Rich is busy retraining, though, isn't he, at the moment? I don't know if you know that.
Really?
Yeah, no. He's retraining as a hairdresser because he bought a Porsche Boxster back in the summer. So he's got his qualifications coming up and his clippers and things. So good luck with that, Rich. It'd be good. Good to see you.
He would know there's MX-5s as well, isn't it?
Well, yeah.
We didn't like to say.
Okay.
Here we go. Alfie Gendall's dad, Jeff Gendall. Next year is his last year, so he is doing the Junior American Cup cars next year, and then hopefully Combe Saloons or Hot Hatch in 2022. There we go. Fantastic. Learning year next year, trying to get some driving time in the Peugeot. Fantastic. That's what we like to see.
Absolutely fantastic.
Let me just make sure Dickie Bow and Pro Band's ready for Saturday. Now that's a sight that we should see. I want those photos coming in of things like that, guys. Davis and I are going to be tuxed up. Although, as my comment on the Motorsport Day show was, I might well be tucked top half, under Cracker's bottom half below the camera.
Yeah, I've got a lot of complaint emails about that.
Mate, I live for complaint emails. You know me. I just got to make sure I don't stand up and walk away, you know. Oh. You're making a lot of fuss over a little thing. Yeah, yes, Richard Beard has said, Sarah Weston has replied, that's the one I've seen. Sorry, the young marshal. I said it's the young marshal that hasn't replied, Mr. Beard. Sean Wynn says, still here, boys. Orange gin is also nice, says Wendy. So she's not paying attention to you, Chris. She's just thinking about the gin, mate.
Yeah, she is, yeah.
So there you go. Sean Wynn is actually watching both now. He's watching City and you. Even more now he knows that you're a City fan, mate. Will Morris, it's been a pleasure racing with you at Combe the last 5 years. A true inspiration to us all.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Will.
And Champ even says, Mark Sutton, it's been great fun racing with Chris. Good luck with everything you and Wendy want to do.
Wow. Nice.
Thank you, mate. We have had the most incredible fights with at the back mostly, and I mean, you can't keep your eyes everywhere, but often we've been missed. You know, you're concentrating on Gary and everybody at the front, and there's me and Mark and Ray and a few others, Anthony, all slogging it out at the back, and we've had some fantastic fights, especially Mark and I. So nobody was more pleased that it was me and him for 1 and 2 this year. In fact, we went out for dinner straight after the last race day and celebrated. So we've had some incredible fights, Mark and I, and I'll never forget it. Never, ever.
And I do apologise, mate. I know that it's tricky on the commentary. You're right, is to try and do it. Although saying that, I think you two both stitched me up, us up on the comms with what you did on the last round, in the fact that it was basically, who was it that said that the trick to racing is winning at the slowest possible speed?
In the first race, something was wrong with my car. And we managed to get it fixed between the 2 races, but I genuinely thought the gearbox was about to go at any moment. So I backed right off, and Mark decided to back off and follow me. So it was that. We honestly thought the car was going to break down. We fixed it. It was just an engine bolt just sheared. We managed to fix it with Wayne Poole's help. Went out in the last race, and at that point, I knew that I just had to bring the car home. So again, neither of us decided that we would fight each other and just bring the car home. Hence, I don't think I went over 75, 80 miles an hour. But
it was hard because, of course, I knew full well that's what you're doing. But I was like, I can't talk about it. You know, it was completely understandable. In the same position, I'd have done exactly the same thing. It was just like kind of going, right, do you know what? I've got to just talk about everything else, because you two were almost sort of like Dawesy Davis, your partners. You're going down the start-finish straight as well to some extent.
Yeah, very much.
It was. I think you even said you were putting on a show for those that were at Quarry, weren't you?
We were slowing down at Quarry to wave at quite a few of the fans and marshals. Yeah, very much.
Yeah, on lap 3.
yeah. Well, I mean, I literally drove out to the assembly area onto the track, and there was this awful knocking, and I thought, well, it's either the gearbox or a drive shaft was going to go. I couldn't believe we actually got through the race, but I mean, the gear changes were proper driving Miss Daisy. There was nothing harsh about what I was doing, and Mark decided to slow down and accompany me round. I think he was probably going to push me over the line.
But from memory, he had a slight issue as well, I think, didn't he? That he had to nurse it home as well.
Same again. He just had to nurse it home, same as I did, both races, and then that would sort out the points for the championship. And, you know, Adam and I were having a bit of a laugh about it, but just about beat him on countback, which for me was just amazing, because watching the likes of Adam and Gary and all these other guys going past me is an absolute bloody education, I can tell you.
Yeah, I feel sorry for him though. He had more to compete with.
Yeah, no, very much.
No,
yeah, but you know what to say? What do points make? Prizes,
Trophies. Yeah.
There you go.
yeah.
Yeah. Chris, I mean, in the last 7 years, have you, obviously apart from this year, have you had any, what's been your other have you had another big highlight in the last 7 years? Obviously, this has been a big one for you, but you've obviously said you're racing against people you used to watch, and, I see you've driven different cars.
To be fair, well, not too many that stand out, but lots of little ones. So when I was 4th in Class D, well, that was great. When I was 3rd in Class D for the championship was absolutely fabulous. We've had some races where with Anthony, with Ray, with Mark, Roger Good, where afterwards we have literally collapsed in each other's arms, where we've had the most incredible races and we're all shaking each other's hands and saying that was a fabulous race. And those are the things that mean the most to me.
Yeah, makes sense.
The trophies are lovely and the points are lovely, but I cannot believe it's hard to believe what we've done. And some of us at the back have had these incredible fights.
Yeah.
You asked Chaz. Chaz came out this year. My God, we were nose to tail, lap after lap, taking each other on different corners, and it was fabulous. And the chats afterwards were with Chaz was awesome. So those are some of the highlights. Racing my Dominator in the first year was I never imagined I'd be in a sports car going around Castle Combe. It was underpowered compared with everybody else, but I was out there in a sports car at Castle Combe, the place I've loved for nearly 40 years. So little highs like that.
One of the other things, Chris,
sometimes as well, to be honest, having the sponsors up and family and having them on the wall and thanking them for what they've done means so much. They'll never know. They really will never know.
Well, that's great.
Because there's two things I want to say. Is that one, you're kind of like one of those an example, a slightly different example of how to do things, in the fact that you weren't about the big value. It was not about give us some money so I can go racing because I really like it. It was about giving back. It was about smaller values, getting multiple sponsors, and then you would entertain them on the day. And it didn't need to be extreme. You'd have like a platter of sandwiches and drinks and stuff like that. They would be in a great position in the paddock, overlooking the pit lane, able to then come and see the race and then see you afterwards, and all this, that, and the other, the things that not many people get to be party to. And I thought it was a very good way to do it. And please don't take this the wrong way, Chris, but I use you as an example where I turn around and say it's not just the ones that are winning all the trophies right at the front of the field that will get the sponsors. There's a lot more that you can present no matter where you are in that field, and you make yourself accessible to your sponsors. You make it an enjoyable day out. I know the guys at, like, say, Sodbury Fields, for example, they have a whale of a time and they're great characters and they just, they love it.
Yeah, and also you always let kids sit in your car as well, Chris, don't you? I think that's the other big thing people have said, and people have always come around and said to me about, what in the paddock, obviously when it was open before, and I know you've let a lot of youngsters sit in your car, and I think that's a really big thing. And a lot of the drivers do, don't get me wrong, but I think, some of them are obviously a bit more precious or whatever, but I think that's a really good thing. You show the family side of it, and I've seen your grandkids around and everything else, so I think that's a huge part of it, isn't it?
It has been very much. I mean, Ray's exactly the same. Ray loves his racing, as you all know, but he likes to bring his family with him, and it's very much a family occasion for him, and it has been for us. And with all the tickets we get, we have some sponsors up, and we managed to bring the family up. The grandchildren have now come up watching me, and they've loved it as well. So it's been a proper family occasion, and the sponsor thing has just been incredible, because more often than not, they'll come to me at the end of the season and say, we're in again next year. Just tell us when you want the money. And
And that's been the thing, because you keep going, oh, I'm not racing next year, and then you suddenly go, well, I am, because they've come to me, and I haven't got a choice now.
it literally was. People like Doug at Avon Valley and Sodbury Fuels and all sorts of other people have come back to me year after year after year. All right, well, for them it's a lot of money to give me, but it's all those little bits of money added together gets me through the season. And it gets me through the next season and the next season, and here we are now, second overall, winner of class.
And I know that, for example, someone you spoke about that you've had great competitions with, and a good friend of mine, Anthony Weeks, is that I know that he, although he wasn't getting the open doors training, the media training I give for sports people directly, he was sat in with Chris Carter, who I was giving a little bit of training, and he was sort of like at that stage working with on various other bits. And he suddenly went, do you know what? I hadn't thought of it that way, is that think of yourself as the spectator. And, I grew up as a 5-year-old and all the way up thereafter, up at Quarry Corner with my dad. And, as Tom said many a time, is that we pride ourselves, pandemic aside, of having this paddock where people can come in.
Yeah.
But you guys sit there and go, well, I'm just doing a hobby. I'm just sort of like, I'm working the rest of the week, and then great, I get to go and have some fun this weekend. But actually, remember what you were like as a spectator. When you walked into that paddock and you saw that person with their racing overalls on, their racing boot, you were like, oh my God. And I'm not just talking kids, is that you've got teenagers and adults that will go like, wow, there's the gladiators that are doing out there what just looks incredible at those speeds, those moves, that, risk and all that sort of stuff. And so to actually turn around and smile at them and say hello and speak and engage, it makes the world a difference. And you never know who they are now, who they could be in the future, who they know. But it's just nice making it part of that important. And even Anthony Weeks turned around and went, do you know what? I not thought of it that way, because I was just doing a hobby. Yeah. And he then was speaking to anybody who walked past and smiled and whatever else, is that he would engage a lot more. And like you do, sitting in the car, photographs, all that kind of stuff, it can make a massive difference.
I've always, I never cease to be amazed at the number of people who've made their way into the paddock to actually come and search us out, to say hello, shake my hand, have a photograph taken. Stuart Tinker Taylor that was on earlier, we've become very good friends, and he always comes to see me in the paddock, always, as do many, many others. Oh, here he is now.
Yeah, he did. He said, it's been awesome watching Chris and Team Blast. Thank you for being a good friend. Hope we see you next season.
I'm utterly bowled over by the response of all these people who come to see me. Is it any hardship for me to let them sit in the car? Absolutely not. If anybody's interested, if they go to YouTube and tap in my name, there's a video, a 4-minute film that's been made about me and my accident, and it explains where my enthusiasm and interest for motor racing came from, which was the RAC Rally back in the late 60s and early 70s down at Ost. And that film was made about me for inspirational purposes, but it gives people an idea of how all this came about. But it also shows how bowled over I am by people's response when they've seen that film or things like this on the TV or whatever. They come to see you in the paddock as if you're Nigel Mansell or something, and I literally can't believe it. So
it's one of the things that I've always, and I know Tom and I have had many a conversation about it, is that I'm a huge believer, and I'm remembering it from when I was growing up, is that with Castle Combe having its local championships and series, is that on the banks, with that happening every time, as well as all the visiting ones, when they're visiting, you might not see them ever again, those drivers, or you might not see them for a year. Whereas there's this whole repeating soap opera, like that you get to pick your favorite drivers, your favorite cars, your favorite color schemes, the story that happens. And that's why, I've done things last year. I did a bit of a podcast this year, Combe TV, is that I seriously believe that there is a whole, storyline, subplots and the stuff that you may not know just from watching. To bring that to light just adds a whole lot more. And, I think of things like Speedway, where you are supporting your team in those matches. And I think that Combe has the same mentality. And that's that's what you are finding. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that anybody deliberately refuses to engage with people walking through. What they don't do is realize their position, their place is that it's a big deal. That doesn't mean if you become arrogant, you'll ruin it. You'll take it too far the other way. However, acknowledge and realize that, yes, you might think that you're just going out to have some fun and it's your hobby. But to those out there, they are impressed with what you are doing out there at those kind of speeds with that many others all around you. And so engage whenever possible.
Very much. And we've done various shows. We've been to Avon Valley Park. We've done the South Gloucestershire show with Sodbury Fuels and the race car, and we've done Yates Shopping Centre with the Dominator and the Fiat, and we've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of youngsters have sat in my cars, and if one of those takes up karting, takes up saloon car racing, and gets into a GTs or a senior level, nobody will be more thrilled than me.
Absolutely, and I mean, take it even aside from that, it's also that they suddenly don the orange overalls. They become marshals. They become spectators at more things. They become officials. They become sponsors. So it's not just about drivers. It's you never know. No, please don't. I want to keep my job.
Chris and Chris, I'm just thinking of timing because obviously Chris.
No, I'm happy to go.
Back on Saturday night, so you can have obviously a bit of a chat then. I'm just thinking, obviously, we just want to talk through what else we've got planned, Chris.
Just quickly then, because we got a couple of comments that have come in. Sean Wynn, because you may be able to add to this. Sean Wynn, who's a great bike racer. What would be a good car to start racing on 4 wheels? Because we keep trying to talk him into coming. Got any thoughts on something to start in, Chris?
It's got to be a Saxo or a 106, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's got to be. Look how many there are in saloons and hot hatch.
And it's in inverted commas affordable. And I agree. And that could be either the saloons or the hot hatches. Exactly right. Yeah. Your good lady is chuckling at my undercrackers and she's added Watsits to it as well. Jed Doyle asked the question: what is Chris Hignall's favourite tipple?
Hang on. Anything that looks like that.
Hold it up, mate. What's that? Hold it up. White and Mackie, is it?
Well, anything Scotch whiskey, really.
Scotch whiskey. There we go. There's the answer. I like whiskey as well. I do. I like that. That's a straight drink for me, and something a little bit stiffer for me. That one. One of the Orange Army, Becky Hill. Hello, champ and champ number 2. I think she's referring to you and Mark Sutton because he was commenting earlier. Pippa Gore, another Orange Army, on the white wine at the moment, switching to gin at 9 p.m. So you got an hour and 1 minute.
Yeah, very specific.
Yeah, absolutely. Becky says, hello, Chris and Tom. Hello Becky. To you too. Matt Coyle, obviously the coordinator on the saloons. Matt Coyle says, evening, guys. Thank you for working hard to soldier on during this crazy year. Some great racing, drama and good times. Combe family is now bigger and better, and 2021 is going to be epic. I hope so, mate. And I agree that there's every chance of that. Talking about you again, Mr. Hignall, Mike Cotton says, listening to Chris, that is the true spirit of Club Motorsport. I agree. Matt Coyle again says, highlight of my year, Chris Hignall taking me round the track in an Aston Martin. There we go. See, that's one-eyed round an Aston Martin.
And I got told off for breaking the sound test over at Old Paddock.
Oh, really?
So I was trying, yeah.
Oh, God. Tim Perry, another Orange Army. Dilly just got home. Glad to see you. Well, good to see you back, mate. Hey, Tim, that's not to you, Tom. That's to Tim Perry. Don't panic.
Well, he apparently might not better join us on Saturday night because he's out shopping.
No, that's tonight.
That's tonight, was it? Oh, I thought he said
yes.
Saturday. Oh, sorry. I was going to say, because I know he's a Strictly fan, so I'm going to, So
well, it could be that, mate.
He's choosing. Yeah. He's choosing.
Stuart Tinker Taylor also said, my granddaughter loved sitting in Chris's car. She calls him Mr. Teabag. Now, your daughter... Yeah, explain that one, Chrisley.
The innocence of youth.
Yeah.
But Why would she say that, mate?
You know damn well why.
One of the sponsors, one of the jobs, one of the everything. Your daughter says the lunch you provide is almost more enjoyable than watching you race, Chris. Honestly, though, the kids are very proud. Their grandpa is a real racing driver. And I can imagine it makes a big difference. My daughter keeps turning to me saying, I'm so chuffed that I'm the only child that gets to go up in a commentary box because my daddy's a commentator. Now, that's just being a commentator. If I was a driver, she'd be like, turning herself inside out, I think.
The kids have absolutely loved it. Every chance, if there's some tickets spare and we say, do you want to come up? They're the first to want to come up. And we've had their little Team Blast shirts made and they all walk around with those on. And I have to say, it's just been an enormous pleasure having the family there. I've loved it.
I can imagine, and I know that's been a hardship this year that we completely understand from everybody. Chris Pearson says, highly recommend you all watch the video with Chris Ignall, and I do as well. I've seen that because I know, I think my wife was treating you as a physio at one point some time ago when you were just releasing that, and you told her to tell me that she'd seen you and that you just done that, and I watched it and it was mind-blowing because I think even where I knew you well enough, there was elements to it that I didn't necessarily know. So it is worth watching, and in fact I'm assuming that that's the link to it that Maria Dykes has put up. I'm assuming you've not stitched me up there, Maria, with something that I shouldn't be sharing.
No, it's very easy to find. It's literally just put my name in on YouTube and it's literally the first video at the top. It's only about 4.5 minutes long. It was made as a series of about inspirational people for a company in the healthcare service industry. And Combe were very helpful in giving us some track time so that we could do some fabulous images. Unfortunately, if anybody who watches it carefully, we filmed on a sunny day and we filmed on a wet day. And when he edited it together, he added rain over the dry day to try and make it look like it was all the same wet day. So if you look carefully at it, you'll see some added rain.
Oh, bless. No, it is a good one.
And he's done quite a few others, the same guy, but yeah, it's fabulous.
Exactly, and that's the point. It's not a self-indulgent thing or anything like that. Not in the slightest. It is done by somebody else for, with a number of motivating stories.
He asked at the hospital, do you know anybody who's got a story like this? And apparently several of the consultants all named me. And that's how it came about.
And incidentally, a very quick one as well is that Tom asked the question about your highlights. I know as well that another big highlight for you was at the awards last year when your wonderful, wonderful wife retired from the medical profession. Just an amazing lady that I've got a soft spot for, Chris, with everything she's done. She is just an amazing lady, and I felt very, very proud that I got to deliver a speech at the awards Future Ins last year. And I know that you said I did you proud, but the point being is to see the reaction from everybody. I knew that for you to feel that Combe family give something back to someone you hold very dear was special to you as well, Chris.
It was, and in fact, because it came up as a reminder on social media the other day, we actually watched it several times during the day, and I thought it was. Well, you did a fantastic job of introducing it and filming Wendy. Literally bawling her eyes out with you introducing her. It's honestly absolutely fabulous.
But I still can't watch it through without getting choked myself now, I've got to be honest.
Likewise.
But it's again, I know that's a special thing, and it gave us the excuse to be able to talk about your number one fan, your number one supporter in the paddock, who is just as special as well. It's just a wonderful story. So thanks, Wendy, for that as well. Just quickly picking up on Tom's ushering up. Alan Jenkins, good to see Alan's watching. Chris, you're correct. The spectators come, I think, to see the Combe Championships because they relate to the drivers. So I agree. Matt Coyle has picked up on the car question. He's also said the MGs run by iTech Racing. And I'd agree. The MG ZRs do appear to be fabulous cars to go racing in, because I've covered the MG Car Club a lot as well. And the MG ZRs do seem like good cars.
No.
But Martin Bennett says, don't let a winner out in a car. Here you go. You've won even more fans. Sean Wynn says, drives, drinks whiskey. What a bloke. He loves you. He loves you, mate. Let me just check. Lewis Bird, another one that's raced this year. Both he and his dad racing again. Another typical thing at Combe to see, different generations of families racing. Says, evening, gentlemen, I've just tuned in and I want to say thank you to all involved in making this year's racing happening. Absolutely, 100%, without question. Jeff Gendel, he says, me and Alfie have loved coming into the pits over the years and seeing these amazing race cars up close. We've always gone and chatted to Chris and Wendy and always made to feel so welcome. We even joked a while back that Alfie would be racing his car when he retires. Never dreamed it would actually come true. We'd love Chris and Wendy to be our guests at Combe for the day during Alfie's first year of racing there.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we'll be there.
That'll be special. That will be
kind.
special, won't it? That will be amazing. Tim Perry confirms he definitely will be here on Saturday. I thought that was the case. Andy Abraham says, thanks to everyone who put Combe together for this year. To compete there again this year after a 20-year gap was really quite something else. And it was good to see you, mate. There you go. They're trying to encourage you to become one of the Orange Army, mate.
I actually did some marshalling before I went racing, just to fill in just to be doing something up at Combe whilst the MSA were dragging their heels. So
makes sense. That makes sense indeed. Another great talk, Mark Campbell. I haven't seen you for ages, Mark. I want to see you again, mate. I haven't seen you for ages. Hope all is well, you little ledge. Does he know something we don't, Chris?
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, but he also, of course, says, hello, Wendy. Hope you're both safe and well. Catch up soon. Kiss.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, we will.
Team Blast Academy driver next season. Pass on your experience. So that's what he's talking about.
I'm always happy to help anybody who's thinking of starting off, if they want to know cars, costs, anything like that, how to get sponsorship. I'm happy to throw my 6 pennyworth in.
No, I agree. Well, listen, Chris, thank you so much for coming on. It was a double whammy there. It was great to have a conversation with you both, but also to show people, if you're a little bit nervy about Saturday night, it is as easy as that. I just emailed you when I said go. I emailed you that link, Chris. You clicked it. You came on. Job done.
It literally was about 3 clicks. That's all. Yeah.
Great. Thanks.
Perfect.
Chris.
Yeah, because I think it says allow access to your cam and allow access to your mic.
Exactly. So click on that, click on something else. You're in the studio. Go.
Fabulous. Listen, thank you very much, mate. I'm going to retire you out of this one now. It's been great to catch up with you both. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Take care.
See you all.
Thanks, guys. So that was good to see them. And that point makes the point, doesn't it, Tom, that it is as easy as that. Anybody who has the link because they're going to be part of the show on Saturday, as I said in the email, you can click it any time between now and, let's say, 5 o'clock on Saturday, and you will be able to see how it works. You'll be in the backstage area as you would come in anyway, and you will be able to do that, allow cam, allow mic. But it will mean that you're able to see if the cam doesn't come on, if the mic doesn't come on, if, like you were saying with the Safari issue, you'll see all of that, you get it sorted, and then we're all ready to go and have some fun on Saturday. Simple as that, mate, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And I just think, that's, I don't know if you want to explain to people roughly the sort of times for anyone who's wanting to watch and what time they want to dip in and dip out. If they've got anything in particular that they want. Oh, he's run away now. He's left me. There is a timetable. You've worked out, haven't you? I mean,
I forgot. I printed, but I forgot to collect it. Right. Yeah. I mean, so obviously we're starting at 6 o'clock, and Ken Davis is going to open up, obviously, as the chairman of the Castle Combe Racing Club, and then I will come on. Waiting to see whether Graham Marshalsea is going to come on, obviously, as the managing director of the circuit, but it may be, Tom says the bits, but we'll wait and see. But there's just going to be a circuit welcome, a couple of videos. Then we're going to go into the GTs. My anticipation is probably around about 6:30. Everything, if we can, everything will be sort of like when you're at a race day, basically, is that if we can get going sooner, then we will. GTs. Then we've got the medical team on to just have a chat about everything they've done this year to enable racing to happen. Then we've got the saloons. Then we've got Kevin from Bristol Sound, who worked like an absolute Trojan with the cameras and everything else, and his son doing the camera switching as we went on in the year to enable the live stream to happen. So we're just going to catch up with him on everything that he was able to do. Then we've got the Formula Fords. Then we've got the Marshals Awards, and we've certainly got one of the Marshals have confirmed that's picking up an award. So Richard Beard will come on and say a quick word with that as well, I believe. Then we got the Hot Hatches, and then we got the Perpetual Driver of the Year awards. So it's going to be sort of like 9:30 finish, I would imagine. And yeah, that's the plan. And we'll just keep going through, play the odd video if I need the toilet, things like that. And you'll be basically popping in and out, Tom, won't you?
Yeah, covering when when you need a gin or need the toilet. Yeah, definitely. And just like I said, I think picking up and because I think it's important. You've got a couple of pre-recorded interviews as well, haven't you?
One so far that I've recorded. I recorded Ollie Ball today. There's a couple that are possibly outstanding. Someone else that has confirmed that they can't do it, so I may be able to do a pre-record. I don't know. Just so we can pop something in there when they're not able to show. But thankfully, good attendance by the looks of it. There's a couple of the championships where I have a limit of 10, as I say, and so some of them I've got where I'm having to sort of like get 2 or 3 of the classes coming in to start with, do that, and then when they leave, get the other classes in. So there's going to be some jiggery pokery. I'm going to need a whiskey, one of Chris Ignall's whiskies, I think, at the end of this blooming show, because it's going to be like really threading the eye of a needle as we go through it. So we'll get there, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I can't try. Will this be your 4th year of doing it, Chris? Or 3rd year?
Do you know, I've lost track, if I'm honest, mate. It's either 3rd or 4th, and I'm not sure.
I think you did 17, 18. I think you did 17, 18, and 19, didn't you? I think
it's possible, because I mean, it's devastating for me. Is that, of course, I'm actually commentating next Saturday at Donington Park, would you believe? I've still got another commentary to come when sport is open. Normally I'd have finished that and I'd be into hosting a number of awards dues, which I absolutely adore doing. Those that have certainly the people that go to the Combe Awards will see that I absolutely adore it. It's so much fun, terrifying, but I love it. And of course, all of those are off because we can't have people all together in a room. So it's lovely that we get to do this. And it was, we were adamant, weren't we? We've got to do something for these drivers that have achieved some amazing things.
Yeah, and I think it's you say it's the least we can do, isn't it? And it's cost effective, isn't it, as well? And like I said, I think everything's tight for people at the moment, isn't it? So hopefully, getting drunk in the comfort of your own home, eating your own 3-course roast dinner, or someone suggested apparently they want me to run around delivering fish and chips to them on Saturday. That's definitely not part of it.
It's not, is it? Matt Core says he's getting his hair done tomorrow. Me too. Get the wax out. Sean Wynn says, where do I get the link? Now, obviously, the link you want is the watching link. And if you go to either the Castle Combe Circuit or the Castle Combe Racing Club Facebook pages and the Chris Dawes media pages, is that you'll see that it's got there. Just scroll down if you need to a little bit. Yeah, it's it will be a show like we launched this. We scheduled this show. It will be actually, ironically, before this show that it was scheduled, but it will be all shared and pushed to the front, and you'll be able to click it either watching it on Facebook or on YouTube. And of course, don't forget you can cast it to your TVs, or many smart TVs have the YouTube as an app on there as well. Richard Beer says it'd be great to hear from Kevin after all his hard work behind the scenes. I agree. I mean, his son and I work so hard on the race days, but I'm lucky because, of course, I get to be in front. Those two are behind the scenes and don't get the recognition they deserve. So it's absolutely brilliant that actually saying that reminds me is that Kevin's on. Hopefully his son will make an appearance as well, because he was doing a great job. It made a big difference when we were suddenly having him switch in between the cameras, and he was having to be down there listening to our commentary and say, oh, they're suddenly talking about something going on at Tower. And so the next thing he's like, right, okay, quick, go to that and follow them from Tower around to the S's or whatever, and he's desperately trying to do that. So it made a big difference. So that will be good. Emma Brown says, look forward to Saturday and see you at Donington, Dawsy. I thought you probably would do, because we got the Formula Fords are going to be there as well. Chris, tell your missus. Tell my missus what, mate? I'm a bit nervous by that one.
Get the drink, I think, maybe.
Oh, probably. Yeah. I'll. It's. Oh yeah. I'll book a back job soon. That's what it's. I wondered whether she'd seen you, mate, and as a physio up at Toll House as well. So that'll explain that as well. Tim Perry rightly saying, Kevin the Maestro, so glad he and his son for fabulous coverage during difficult times. Absolutely, it made a big difference and very important. Look at that. We got business going on as well. Sean Wynn, message me, please. Chaz Riles with his MGs that are obviously to rent to race at Combe, saying, winner, give him a call. So there you go. We could have a two-wheel Maestro out on four wheels. Who knows? Right. I think we're done now, Tom, mate, aren't we? We've previewed. We've given the instructions. Jump on and do, feel free if you've got the link and you're going to be on the show, you can go and test it.
Yeah.
Email address there if there's any questions. I think I've got to sort of make sure that we got everything set up ready for the weekend. Yeah,
definitely. You say, please. That was the whole point of getting Chris on as well. Don't panic. Just relax. It was that simple. We asked him, spare the moment, just to get. I mean, like we said, he's got a lot of stories to tell, and he's a good chatty chap. But we just wanted to just show everyone how easy it was, and don't be nervous. Just please, this is your time, guys. It's gonna, this is the whole thing. This is going to be, as we know from the race, the live race meetings. They were being watched all over, weren't they? They were being picked up, and they're on YouTube now, and the views on YouTube are going up all the time.
Absolutely.
We've had some great comments. People absolutely love it. So please, spread the word, get involved, ask questions. Like I said, Chris will dip. Will be breaks. So Chris and I come on probably like this and just pick up on questions and have a bit of a laugh and a joke as well. So please, the more you get involved, I think it would really help the drivers. And us celebrate what should have been 70th anniversary at Concord.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you've made a comment or asked a question and it was a long time previous that you asked it or made it and it hasn't managed to make it out, but it's quite important and it's not been shared, please feel free to say it again, because it could be that I'm like trying to get everything going and everyone on and everything working, that I've not had the chance to go back to it, because as you can imagine, a lot of comments come in and up there. So feel free to put it forward again. It's not a problem. It won't be looked down upon. Just don't spam, obviously. But feel free to bring it up again. We will try our best. And it's quite nice that we're going to have an interactive awards do as much as we possibly can. And it is the only reason Tom will be in and out in reality, because it was supposed to be the two of us, and where possible it would be the two of us. The Dawsy and Davis, we love it. It's good fun, mate. But it's down to that numbers thing that I was talking about, isn't it? The maximum of 10.
Yeah, and definitely. And you've got much more knowledge than I have as well. The guys you're used to interviewing them and talking to them and know their knowledge, and know the knowledge of what they've done previously and where they've been. So I think that's important, and that's what. The poor wife, yeah.
I love the fact as well is that Emma Strawford, and I know she messaged me, she was going off to do this. Snacks and drinks ready for Saturday. We'll dust off and dress for the evening too. And that's the thing, guys, seriously, let's get dressed up. Let's have fun. I know we're at home, but let's do it. I'm going to have my tux on. Go for it. It's not mandatory. Of course it isn't, but let's do it. And if you are, share the photos. Let's get those photos up. It'll be lovely to get those on social media, even after the event, if we're not able to, because this is all available to watch after the event and everything as well. So yeah, it's going to be great fun. There's no question. Stuart Tinker Taylor, enjoy the fuffers on the Saturday, Chris. Not this Saturday, the Saturday after, but I will do. Lee White, evening all. Tim Perry saying hello there as well. Richard Beard saying thanks, guys. I can't wait, mate. I'm excited. I'm even more excited than I was now, mate. So I think perfect way to end tonight's show. Anything else to say, mate?
No. Just please tune in. And also just anyone who's interested in watching, there is a Black Friday sale at the circuit on Friday. So if you were thinking of buying something, I'm not going to reveal too much, but keep an eye out. Log on Friday, and all I can say is some huge, biggest discounts we've ever done. Support the circuit as well, please. So yeah, log on Friday. If you're thinking of buying something, get on Friday. You won't get a better deal.
Fabulous, and I agree. Support the circuit wherever it's been, annus horribilis, as they say in Latin. Right, everybody, have a safe night. It's great to be back. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's great to be back with you, Davis. And I look forward to doing more of these shows. But for now, it's a good night from us until we do the awards show on Saturday night. Come here quickly. And happy birthday to this one as she's for tomorrow. She's brushing her teeth. They're saying happy birthday to you, baby girl. And of course, happy birthday to Karen Marshalsea as well. So have a fabulous time.
Thank you.
She asked if she could say thank you. How cute is that? Right, Tom, thanks, mate. Catch up with you all on Saturday night. Good night, all.
Take care. Bye.
Becoming a racing driver has never been easier with Castle Combe Circuit. Book your ARDS novice drivers training course at the Wiltshire venue today. The easiest and quickest way into competitive on-track action.
Welcome to Castle Combe. My name's Alan Cooper. I'm the Chief Driving Racing Instructor here at this circuit. We're here today to do the Novice Driver Training course, often known as the ARDS course, which is the first way to start off and get your racing driving licence. So, no further ado, let's get on and show you what's involved.
So you've seen the format. Everyone here today passed their tests and now have their racing licence. Who knows? The next time I see them could be as I commentate on them in front of the usual packed house of racing fans here at Castle Combe Circuit. All you need to do to be next is to visit castlecombecircuit.co.uk and select Become a Racing Driver under the Racing tab. Becoming a racing driver is easier than you think with Castle Combe Circuit and Motorsport UK.